You are now entering the Grow Moringa Collective, an eco-friendly community centered around a common interest, growing moringa. Connect with other like-minded individuals in person and online as a member of the Grow Moringa Collective. Download the Members app to your phone for instant access. I now present to you a lesson from the exclusive 3-day conference event known as MoringaCon. Team up with us and get the help you need to succeed. All recordings are included with membership. Become a member to fulfill your wildest dreams of working outside in nature, planting seeds and growing trees. Turn your empty property into a thriving food forest. Get the training you need to make extra income from moringa. Learn more about growing, harvesting, drying, processing, packaging, and selling moringa trees into valuable products for extra income. Simplify your growing operation and become a profitable moringa grower. If you'd like to learn more about the moringa tree industry without beating around the bush, you're in the right place. Be sure to join us inside of the Grow Moringa Collective members area for full access to all the answers you need. Don't miss MoringaCon 25 coming up in April. Make a real impact on your health and the health of others around you. Be sure to join us inside of the Grow Moringa Collective members area for all of the moringa answers. Welcome to MoringaCon 24. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most crucial steps in starting your moringa journey, and that's how to buy and lease land for your moringa farm. And in this lesson, we're going to give you insider tips that will help you find the most perfect and ideal land to grow moringa trees. But here's the bigger picture, because it's not just about buying land, it's about building your dream. Think about where you are right now. Maybe you've imagined owning a moringa farm, but wasn't sure how to make the first step. And that's where the Grow Moringa Collective comes in, because we're here to help give you the tools, the guidance, the support to turn your vision into a reality. When you grow moringa and you join the collective, you'll become a part of this community that's been there, done that, and is ready to help you succeed. Whether you're buying land, leasing, or even trying to find ways to scale your existing operation with the property that you have, we've got the knowledge that's going to help you reach your goals. So ask yourself, where do you want to be? What's holding you back from achieving the farm of your dreams? Because with the Grow Moringa Collective, that dream becomes a reality. This isn't just about growing moringa, it's about growing your future. Join us today and get the tools that you need to buy or lease the land that will help you launch your future moringa farm operation. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you inside the members area. Welcome back to MoringaCon 24. We're here on day 1 for our second episode, where we're going to be talking about buying and leasing land to grow moringa. This has been on my mind a little bit, and I want to make sure that this channel helps you learn more about the moringa tree. But 58% of the people who watch this channel on a regular basis are not even subscribed. Do our collective of hardworking moringa growers a huge favor before we start today's lesson. If you like the moringa tree and you'd like to support us in some way, the easiest free way you could help our mission is by hitting the subscribe button below. We're going to listen to your feedback and share more educational videos. We're going to find the answers you're craving and need to know. Thanks. So thanks a lot for coming in and joining us as we're here today, 2024, October 18th. And we have our book here, Grow Moringa, The Ultimate Guide, which we use as our certification manual as well inside of the members area. And we're going to be going over it mostly today. We just went over the history of the moringa tree. And inside of this book, we also have a design section. We have a design section. It's more so towards the back. Chapter 9. And we go in on permaculture techniques as well as graphically showing the way to lay out your property, and we're going to go in a little bit more on that in other episodes. But at least when you go to chapter 9, you can see some of the layouts of the and styles of growing, the intensive style, the hedge style, and the orchard style. And so when you buy land, you want to consider having certain things on your property like access. Access is very important, which is like your roadways and your driveways, right? Your roadway and your driveway is going to be something that's going to give you and others access to the property. So it's going to be one of the first things that you want to lay out. So that's going to be drive. But then also you want to consider not only making the space like habitable for you, happy for you to be there, enjoyable for you to be there. So some of the things that you'll want to do even just for your own property when you're buying land is to make sure that you have a well and that you have electric. Those two things are the most important. And also full sun. So when you're buying land, you want to consider making sure that your land has a lot of sun. Moringa trees need full sun to grow big. Also, when purchasing your land and developing land, you want to find out if you're going to be growing it mostly for drumstick, or if you're going to have an orchard, or if you're mostly going to grow it intensively. Those things are going to determine how you design your property. But if you just have, say, like a standard backyard in a normal backyard, like a normal residential backyard, you can begin to grid that backyard out. You can grid it out and plant trees strategically on those points where your grid meets. And so you could just draw out your backyard, put a grid on it, and begin planting trees, say 10 feet apart in that grid. That could begin to intensify your spot, but also allow you to have trees and cuttings for when you expand out into other locations and other people's properties. And when you buy land and buy more properties as well. All right. Thanks for coming in and joining us while we learn a little bit more about how to manage your property, how to manage your land, how to look for land, where to look for land. If you have a small backyard or even a balcony, one of the ways to get started is to have moringa in a tray and to have racks and racks and racks of moringa in trays, very similar to a microgreen. And we'll talk more about planting the trees in pots, and also we'll do an example of a microgreen tray together. But more importantly, when you're looking for land to grow moringa, you want to consider the trait of moringa itself is a tropical tree. So some of the places that you'd like to grow it, especially full time, are going to be places that have very little to no frost. That's going to be the most ideal. Some of the regions in Florida are the most relative to India. The regions in Florida that are even more ideal with the soil and the temperature are in places in the middle of Florida, exactly in the middle. There's a ridge there It's one of the highest ridges in Florida there. And there's a city on that ridge called Frostproof. And it's called Frostproof because it rarely ever freezes. And it's on this ridge. It's a sandbar that runs north and south through the middle of Florida. It's one of the first points in Florida that say was above water during parts of its formation, the formation of Florida. So Florida is a really good place to grow, especially in a commercial setting, all year round without frost, in an area known as Frostproof near Lake Okeechobee, Lake Placid, in between that area and say like Sebring and Avon Park, even over there a little bit more to the west, and then moving a little bit further west, going inland a little bit more, you'll hit say like Riverview and then even say like Lake Wales. It's a great place. Those places in Florida are probably some of the most ideal that I know of. I'm here in Tampa, Plant City, a little bit further north where it does get some frost. We get about 2 to 4 to 5 nights of frost, and it can affect the trees. But we've been able to keep the trees short during the wintertime, which prevents the water from freezing the core. When you have a thicker trunk, though, the water has a harder time penetrating a thicker cut trunk. But if you leave it long and lanky, the water freezes up by the thin sticks and then it travels down, and it can travel down into the trunk easier. Hey, do you like what we stand for and our Moringa products? Do you support our mission enough to share these products with others? Would you like to earn extra income from sharing these products with others? Well, that's called affiliate marketing, and we have an affiliate program that can help you make extra income from Moringa today. And when you sign up for free, not only will you get a custom link, but you'll get a custom coupon code in your name. Anyone can use your coupon code for 10% off, and you could even use your own coupon code. Get 10% off your own purchases of Moringa. When you shop with your coupon code, you'll get 10% off, and 10% goes back into your pocket as a commission. That means that you could get up to 20% off your own purchases from Grow Moringa when you use your own coupon code. But wait, there's actually more. When you and others use your coupon code, the conversions keep adding up. It never resets. If you earn $1,000 in sales, you'll get higher payout commissions. Reach $10,000 in sales with your coupon code, and the rate bumps up again. Check out this amazing way to make extra revenue from Moringa without having to do any of the hard work. That's right. We'll grow it, harvest it, process it, package it, and ship it. Simply share your coupon code with as many people as possible using social media, and you can start earning cashback commissions from those sales right away. See, your coupon code is valid for our Moringa products, the merchandise, equipment, books, and educational membership area. The more you help our reach, teaching others about local USA Moringa, our agricultural collective, the more that we can help each other. Thanks a lot for signing up to the Grow Moringa affiliate program. So some of the things to look for when buying land, some of the people here, some members here have been asking, are about the heavy metals content and the soil content. And should they get a soil test? Yeah, absolutely should get a soil test of the location where you want to check for heavy metals. Some of the heavy metals that you're looking for are, let's take a look together. Actually, I'll share my screen. And I think somebody just posted this in the members area today. We can go to the feed. And I shared it here, heavy metal soil test. Some of the results and what we're testing for, especially is arsenic, barium, cadmium, chromium, lead, mercury, selenium, and silver. This is an 8 heavy metals test. I think the USDA really only has like a 4. I think they're really only testing for lead, mercury, silver, and barium. One of those. But ours does 8. There's like a minimal one that does 4, but we do one that does 8. We like this laboratory, so you can get your heavy metal soil test there. That's going to help you produce good soil. And then once you have your soil test, then you'll want to do your nutritional leaf test, right? And that's at the shop. We have your soil test, but then here, when you're in the shop, you'll find leaf test. There's the bio box. And then there's a leaf test in here. This is going to help test your leaf to see if it's good. Not only do you want to test heavy metals in the leaf, but you also want to test, because this is the final stage of production, you want to see if there's any E. coli, mold, bacteria, and you also want to check to see what the NPK value is, just for nutritional value as well. So you submit some of your powder here that you've made from your trees, and that lab will test for your leaf test. But when you're getting your property, orientation is very important. Looking for the east and west, looking for your sun orientation, knowing that the sun is going to go down in the summer. Sorry, it's going to go down in the wintertime, lower in the sky. So it's going to be in the southern sky in the wintertime. And so for making sure that you don't have any big, large trees on the southern edge of your property, and if you do, take those down. And if you do and don't take those down, then to plant your moringa trees on the northern side of your property, where the sun could still get through past those big trees to your moringa trees. So you want to make sure that your trees in the wintertime are still getting full sun. So that's going to be something important to look at when you're buying a property. Location for frost, Florida is definitely a good bet. Southern Texas is a good bet. Southern California is a good bet for all year growing. And then anywhere else looking for property to grow, you can grow anywhere in the summer as a short, bushy annual. So you can grow as a short, bushy annual anywhere in the world in the summer as a short, bushy annual. And it doesn't last long, and it doesn't get very big, and it won't go to drumstick, but you get lots of greens in the summer. And so you can harvest your property. When you have an acre of property, you can harvest every 30 days. Every 30 days, harvest your trees, harvest your trees, harvest your trees to get green growth, to get green biomass. And then one of the ways to set your property up for leasing is very similar to an RV park. You want to make sure that you have access. You want to make sure that you have plots of land with electricity. Consider people coming there on the weekends to use the space. And so maybe having a facility like a bathroom, a changing station for mothers, new mothers. Consider having a place where people can gather and have lunch and work. If you say maybe have say a couple acres, if you have 4 acres, maybe make 4 1-acre plots with a central core in the middle where they all have access. And then maybe there's a restroom, a changing station, parking, a covered area, a picnic area, so that way, families can meet while the guys and everybody are working. Consider setting your property up to make a small community gathering space. If you're scaling down from an acre and say maybe you only have an acre and you're dividing that into 4 quadrants, that's still cool too. You can do quarter-acre lots with the central gathering core. If you scale it down even more and you only have a half acre and you've got 1/8 of an acre, quadrants, it's all still relative, to have power, electricity, and a gathering space, and it be like a community garden, make it to where if they only have a couple raised beds, what are they renting that space for? Um, consider renting an acre of land of upwards of $500 to $1,000 a month to renting down raised beds, you know, on an eighth of an acre to maybe $50 a month, to maybe where you're got maybe 4 of those, you're making $200 a month extra. People are coming to your place, they're harvesting, they're talking, they're hanging out, you've got resources. People are very important. And although it might not seem like much, and there's a lot of communication that's involved with that, but maybe you just make sure they know that there's only times that you're available to talk. Give them access using locks and keys and gates and codes, and treat it like an RV park. This is a revenue stream that you could encourage people that live in the city, especially if you're in the city and you want to break your property down to have people share plots to be able to have moringa for themselves, for their backyard. If they don't have a backyard and you're giving them, say, like a couple raised beds, like an eighth of an acre or even a 16th of an acre, just a couple raised beds, a couple square feet, rent that out for $50. That's giving them the space to get their trees growing, their nursery going. Maybe they don't have a backyard, but it's still maybe, say, close to the city. We could implement this, with more members that have smaller spaces. And then also with, say, someone like myself who has 2.5 acres, I could take a plot back here, a half-acre plot, and divide that into 4 or 5 rows and just say, hey, each person gets a row. Maybe that's $50 a month, and you each get your own row, and you get to work it, and you get to harvest it, and you get to separate your greens and do whatever you want with it, use it, turn it around and package it and sell it, take it to the farmer's market, or turn it around and sell it wholesale back to the collective, because the collective is using it to fulfill orders. So those are some of the ways to set up a property for rental, like a share crop or community garden space. Things to look for. I know there's some people that were looking for some space recently in the members area. We do have real estate agents and brokers that are looking for land for us. We have wholesalers, members that are wholesalers that are also buying land and looking for land. People I know in California and Arizona, members that are looking for land in Florida to grow. We also have a lot of members currently that have land already. When someone calls me with, I've got a property to grow and we can do this and we can do that, I'm super excited for that person. But for already, I've got 500 members with probably 1 million acres, worth of property already. So we already have the keys to a lot of land. We have to develop and utilize the land that even we have in our ecosystem. And as more people sign on, we want them to develop their land too. But if somebody comes to me and is asking for property to buy, I try to tell them to make a post in the members area, because there's members looking to sell their property and it's land. Just because they haven't grown on it yet doesn't mean that it's not perfect for moringa. And that's what I'm trying to utilize more in the members area is the list of lands, because listing what our members have as far as the land that they have, is it for sale, is it available, having that program more robust could get into the eyes and ears of some of the members who might have been thinking about selling their property for a few years, and say, you know what, why don't we go ahead and just list it with the collective to see who might buy it, and maybe a member might buy it. And one of the cool things that I want to work out and possibly look into is partnering with members more, buying their property with them. So like, say there's a member that's struggling with their rent or their mortgage. Maybe we could partner with their property and take over the mortgage, say maybe become 49, 51 owners, of that property. We take over the mortgage, but we don't necessarily have to say kick that member out of their house. We're not necessarily looking to take over the house. We're looking to use the land. So then what we can do is, if we're taking over the mortgage, then we're putting the money down on the trees, the labor to get it started, essentially turn that property into a farm. We have a program where we can develop Moringa farms from member locations into Moringa farms, especially if they're struggling with paying their bills, if they're looking to possibly sell their land, but they don't really want to sell it. Well, maybe this is an option for them to where we could take over the mortgage, become partners, 49, 51 partners or something like that, where they're the majority holder. I'm not even sure if it would be 50-50, right? Where we share the property, and then we develop it, we get it cash flowing. So then now it's cash flowing $5, $10, $20,000 a month worth of revenue because of all the things that we put into place. And then the members can buy it back. That member can buy it back to where they never had to sell it. They never had to get rid of it. Hi, Maria.
Hey.
Hi, welcome. I got you all set up in the laboratory. We're live here with the members here for MoringaCon, so welcome. And we have powder to package, and then we also have Maria can say hi. Hey, yeah, we got the products pretty much set back up, and still have to put the labels on for printing, but
Okay.
so far so good. I've been busy, just getting things going, got shelving up and restoring from the hurricane. But we have powder in the teal bins that can all go in packages, in powder packages. There's powder that's ready. And then I think right there on the table, there's loose leaf that it could also just be packaged into loose leaf.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna be on here for another 5 more minutes or so. Yeah, we're getting the day going again. I even had a helper here already earlier today. She works at a local restaurant in Lakeland, and so she actually came in before work and worked with me, helped me kind of set up, clean up a little bit, package a few things. She was here for about 2-3 hours or so, and got me up early to prep for today's meetings. We've got a couple more meetings here today. This meeting here, we've been talking about real estate and land, developing. We were just kind of going into the opportunity of partnering with a member, say 50-50 split, taking over the mortgage, taking over, maybe paying their taxes, but then working out a deal to where we develop out their property to where it's cash flowing. So that way, when it is cash flowing, they can be able to pay that loan back. Maybe it's more of like a loan, right? And it's more of like a loan on the property to help them have a business where we turn back and give them a business back in their hands that's cash flowing like this, where they know what to do. They know how to get to the farmer's market. They know how to market it. They know how to wholesale. They know how to package it. And it's very simple flow. Once you get down to like the nitty gritty, like of kind of where I am now, it gets kind of really simple, with the simplicity, where you really only have a small lineup of products that you're really packaging and managing every single day. Right now we have 16 products. We've had 50 products before, but now we have about 16 products. I'd like to get the collective, the actual, like what we really do and make as like the business of the collective is one product. That would be loose leaf, where we just sell loose leaf, and all of our businesses and all of our members, they're the ones that are making everything. So like as the business itself, the collective business, so like the the machine itself, right, is just pumping out and making loose leaf, loose leaf, loose leaf. While the members who may not have a lot of product or may not have a lot of things can buy that loose leaf at wholesale at a very, very low price. Members get wholesale prices and then can turn around and make the powder, make the capsules, make the pellets, make the oil. Of course, we would have seeds too. Of course, I say bring it down to one, but of course, there would always be seeds and trees. So it may always be at least 3 or 5 or 10, but at least right now it's 16, right? Because we have fertilizer, plant food, and people food, oil and soaps, spice, and seeds and capsules, supplements, tea. Tea is a big one. And so we can teach each property to be essentially like a franchise. And that's our goal with our collective members, is to take their real estate and take their property and to turn it into something like this, a very small scale store that could churn out enough income for them to make a living. If you have a small space like this, as long as it's really nice and simple, you can create something really clean and desirable for people to come and check out your high quality Moringa products right here on your property. You could even do something like this even in a say like a garage or a shed, or maybe like a something that you make in your backyard, a patio. There's lots of small little kiosk places to rent to start your small business, and something like this where you're even buying in Moringa wholesale at essentially wholesale prices to be able to turn around, take it right out of the package and put your pricing on it to be able to make a return. Are there any questions about real estate, buying Moringa, land to grow Moringa, wholesaling, selling, leasing, anything like that before we close out? It's been a good good meeting. It's one of my favorite topics. We can talk a little bit about what we did here, what we did here with this property. Essentially, I started working here 10 years ago, and they told me that I was going to own the place one day. Couldn't believe it. Well, I finished graduation. I finished going to college. I started a business, a school, a business out in St. Pete. But one day I was harvesting some trees out here. So I hadn't worked here in a while, in about a year or so, 2 years almost at that point. But I was harvesting some trees in the neighborhood, and I ran into the owners, and they said, "Hey, where you been?" "Oh, I just graduated, I got busy with school, and and then I moved out to St. Pete, but I was in the neighborhood harvesting some trees." And they said, "Well, the house down the street, the nursery is available if you want to take a look, possibly move in." I'm like, "What? No way." And I said, "Well, is there an option for rent to own?" And they said, "Yeah." So I said, "Well, shoot, let's do it. Rent to own." I got my first month's rent together, and for about 4 years, I paid the rent, and it went, and several $100s a month went towards my down payment. So after about 4 years of about $200 or $300 a month, I had about $10,000 in escrow that I was able to take and use towards my down payment. And he took that off the cost of the sale. So we just closed on the property. We raised some funds between the members and us and I. We raised about $60,000, and we took some of that money and we went ahead and went to the closing table with about $15,000. And with the 10,000 that we already had built up and the 15, we were able to purchase the actual trailer itself, the actual mobile home, the double wide mobile home. And we were able to purchase that. So that's free and clear. And then we only owe like 155,000 left on the land, on the 2.5 acre land. So we have about 155 left. It's cleared. It'll be clear after 155, and there's no penalty for paying it off faster. So it's on I think a 15-year at like 4%, but it could be paid off. Like we could have it paid off like And so we put this in the collective LLC. So we signed it, and the deed is going to be going into the collective LLC. So we're sharing this ownership of this property. So we're developing this property till we purchase that. So we took the money from the collective, we put it towards the sale of the house. We're building up and we're restoring it, and we're renovating and doing things and putting money into the property. So that way we can possibly, after say 5 years from now, say sell it back to a member, or just sell it in general to anybody. But it could possibly also just be a revenue stream. It could be making $50,000 to $100,000 a month in revenue, given all of the revenue streams that it could be making here, because I'm going to be essentially over the next 5 years setting this place up to where it's off grid, solar, electric, gas, to where we're producing biochar and worms, to where we have a small nursery of moringa, say aloe, dragon fruits, and different things, passion fruits, and all kinds of little different things that we already have out in the field, like pigeon peas and even mimosas and chayas and figs, and all the little things that we already have here can go into the nursery. So we have lots of revenue streams that we can do on our property. And we'll teach more about the development of the property even further as we continue to grow our membership area. And I really appreciate you for coming in here today. And we'll come back here in about 30 minutes. And we'll talk more about revenue streams. Actually, we'll go ahead and dive right into the revenue streams. Like I mentioned, the biochar and a few of the other revenue streams that come off of the tree, like the leaf, the flower, the drumstick, and all the ways that you can create revenue from moringa. Not just growing it either, but learning it, getting it in your hand, and being able to sell it. Once you know about it, then you can sell it. And that's the key. So thanks for coming in, and we'll be back in about 30 minutes. You are now entering the Grow Moringa Collective, an eco-friendly community centered around a common interest, growing moringa. Connect with other like-minded individuals in person and online as a member of the Grow Moringa Collective. Download the Members app to your phone for instant access. I now present to you a lesson from the exclusive 3-day conference event known as MoringaCon. Team up with us and get the help you need to succeed. All recordings are included with membership. Become a member to fulfill your wildest dreams of working outside in nature, planting seeds and growing trees. Turn your empty property into a thriving food forest. Get the training you need to make extra income from moringa. Learn more about growing, harvesting, drying, processing, packaging, and selling moringa trees into valuable products for extra income. Simplify your growing operation and become a profitable moringa grower. If you'd like to learn more about the moringa tree industry without beating around the bush, you're in the right place. Be sure to join us inside of the Grow Moringa Collective members area for full access to all the answers you need. Don't miss MoringaCon 25 coming up in April. Make a real impact on your health and the health of others around you. Be sure to join us inside of the Grow Moringa Collective members area for all of the moringa answers.